Good evening, junkies. Welcome to EminiJunkie.com, your ES Trading Mentor's free trading video for Thursday, August 11th, 2011. Today we had a total of 13 executable trade signals for a max potential of 40 ES ticks. This video is for educational purposes only, is intended to highlight our high probability trade setups and give you a feel for the quantity of trades taken each trading day using this approach. A full trading plan and daily live trading room can be accessed by our website at EminiJunkie.com. Okay, we opened up this morning. We actually had a little bit of volatility in the overnight and opened up in what we consider a high probability gap range. Prior to the open, we did get a theoretical setup, and that did hit targets 1 and targets 2 for 10 ticks. On the open, around 11:28, we started to push higher, and we had been climbing this morning ever since the news announcement at 8:30. We were making a series of higher highs, higher lows. So when we opened, we actually had some bullish internals, and the market pretty much went that way all day. We had a few counter trend trades set up, and there was an opportunity for some chop, but for the most part the market climbed most of the day there until the very end, and they caught a few bears and trapped them on some of the key resistance levels. But the first signal that we actually had during the trading hours was a full stop out. It was a signal to get long, but it came back against us far enough, gave us a full stop out, and then we rotated into a signal short, which would have worked, but we were stopped out on our secondary contract there. Ended up taking a T1 -2 on that particular trade as the market pushed back down towards the open. There was a little reset of the signal, and there was another extension to the downside that did produce targets 1 and targets 2, and this was during the time that the market was pulling back. But we came into our gap level. We actually filled our 415 gap right at the 10 o'clock reversal time, and then we bounced off that, had a nice extension long, targets 1 and targets 2 for 13 ticks on that particular move. Continue to push higher, and the market really, this is where they started to catch some folks. And you know, classical game they do up here. They made it close to their Globex high. They get everybody in a very bearish mood, leaning short. We actually had a quick little signal there that was enabled us to take targets 1 and targets 2 off the extension for 8 ticks, but that was a trap setup, and we were ready for that in the room today. We were ready for them to push higher, and this is where they caught some of the bears. We actually came out of that, had an extension long, again targets 1, targets 2, 9 ticks, and then we were in stop run mode, and they made that nice little push up and ran them up to 54. And they weren't done yet. There was another target to the upside we were looking for. However, we did get a signal to the downside. We didn't get to our swing low, so we ended up taking a T1 -2 on that. Then there was a signal long, hit its full target potential, but we were not able to get filled. Only one candle came down and gave us an opportunity, so that was a no fill on that trade. We had a little reset as we were pulling back. This was kind of a large bull flag if you look on a longer term chart. That was happening here. Signal to the downside, targets 1, targets 2, easily hit for 10 ticks, and then you know, right before the lunchtime dead zone, we came down to a key support level right here to the tick actually, and pushed hard off of that, and that was setting up a nice rally into the afternoon. And you can see we don't trade during 11:30 and 1:15. We call it our dead zone, but you can see there was a little bit of a chop back and forth, and that's increased volatility. That's why we stay out. But then the market ultimately pushed higher, and you know, really made a run during that dead zone. After 1:15, we start looking again. Our first signal was coming out of the dead zone, ended up with a T1, T2 to the downside for 10 ticks. We had a push to the upside, had a beautiful setup, and unfortunately for us, it hit full target, but not before stopping us out to the tick. So T0 -14, unfortunately, on that 130 trade that ultimately worked. And then you had this fast move to the downside, classic extension setup. We took the signal, no follow through. All we need to do is make it to our swing lows. Ended up getting stopped out of that T1 -2, and then you can see on that stop out the fast move to the upside, another extension. Targets 1 and targets 2 were hit on that particular move for 8 ticks, and then the market pushed a little higher. There was a few signals in here. Here was a nice signal to get short, only one candle to the tick, no fill on that, hit its T2, and then made another final push to the upside before ultimately giving it up a little bit into the close. But all in all, a lot of action. This market volatility is extreme. You have to be on your toes, and if you're not used to the speed, obviously we've not seen this type of volatility in quite some time. So I'd always suggest that you trade with a smaller contract size, or stay out of the market altogether and just watch it and do your analysis. And when things eventually do calm back down a little bit, you can come on back in. So I want to thank you for watching. For more details on this plan, including all the chart setups, or to join our live trading room and video newsletter, please visit EminiJunkie.com, or just simply click the link at the top of the screen. Thanks, and make it a great day.